What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the video. My name is Chris, as always, with me. And today we are diving into Handmaid's Tale, Season 2, Episode 10. Man, it feels good to say Episode 10, and it's not even a finale. More shows should run longer seasons. I just think it's great, the amount of content that we can really absorb and how much we can go into this world. Now, this episode in particular was a rough one for me. I'm sure for those of you who have seen this episode too, it might have been rough for you, but we're going to talk about it all on this episode today. The best way for you to tune in with us, though, is down in the comments below. If you like this video, hit the like button. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you never miss a single episode that we drop. But without further ado, we got a lot to talk about. So let's dive in.
Yeah, we start off with Emily being raped again.
So I don't think that's the proper word, because in this episode, there was capital R, rape.
Okay.
So for me, horrible, absolutely disgusting what is happening, but there is legit, like, against your will, for your punishment rape in this series. And then there is ceremonial Gilead dogma. So we got to experience Emily going through a ceremony that ultimately, I thought for a second he got like radiation poisoning or something, but he got like, he had a heart attack. So
his penis just melts off.
I thought honestly that she got him sick. I'm like, yeah, but anyway, sir, like, I know it's a dark subject and being vets, dark humor is how we get through shit, and we're laughing in a dark time. But the thing I want to just emphasize here is that, like, now that I've seen this episode, I realize that there is still another level to this that can go even deeper and more painful, more sadistic, like we saw and we'll talk about. So for me, there's a distinction there now in the world of Gilead. There's like legit rape, and then there's ceremonies.
Okay, both are still fucked.
100%, 100%.
But I did love that whole stomping on the dick thing.
Hell yeah.
The final thing.
Yeah, kicks him and then stomps on him. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the best. No, sorry. The part that was better than that in that same scene was when the wife is like, go get some help. It's better if I lay here.
It's always, to me, that's always like the nice twist of the knife when June or Emily or any of the handmaids use their own preaching back at them as like a twist. Like, oh, I can't do that. You know, it's against what you say. And it's like, it's a nice little way of, well done.
Yeah, it's a good little fuck you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then after that, we go into what? The supermarket, right?
Yes.
So we're in the supermarket. Emily is super even darker than she was before in terms of depression.
Yeah, she's basically tuned out at this point.
Yeah. And everyone else is gossiping about what just happened and laughing and giggling and all this stuff. Emily's feeling even worse. June walks up to Emily and is like, look, you've got stuff to live for. Work God out.
Yep.
Have faith. You're going to see your kid again. And then she goes into false labor, right?
Yeah.
The Braxton Hicks.
Yeah, we believe she goes into labor. All we know is that she's having contractions in the grocery store, and then everything gets rolled out as if she's going to have the baby.
So they get back to the house after being escorted in the ambulance. Everyone's happy sound. That's like ice cream truck music in Gilead.
The baby ambulance is the ice truck for sure.
Fucking wild. But they get back there. Serena's all excited, saying, oh, you're going to be the savior and all this stuff as she's praying to the baby bump, right? And then they start to have one of those ceremonies getting ready for the labor.
Yeah, it's a dog and pony show.
Yes. But I'm smiling because we got to see June give another fuck you to them. Like, haha, I'm embarrassing y'all now because we're not really going to have the baby and you guys gathered everyone here for nothing.
Yeah.
And June is on the bed and Serena's all pissed off. And I love the line where June's like, yeah, I think it's best we never see each other again. But as we see, that comes to bite her in the end.
Yeah. You know, we've already seen the ceremony and like the surrogate thing, so we won't really have to jump into that again because it's how ridiculous it all is. But one thing I thought was interesting in this particular opening scene, you have all the handmaids that are support her, which almost gives her another level of like confidence within herself, because it is almost like her against the handmaids, the way that shot is set up. Like she's completely flanked and surrounded by her support. Lydia basically like teeing up on the side too, who's a very powerful figure, as we know. And then it's all of them like basically against Serena. And you notice like she even walks forward. The rest of the wives stay back. So it really is her against all of them. And I thought the way they shot that scene, and then of course just the way that like June's face was the whole time she was digging in, like you said, and kind of giving it back to her. The way they shot that whole scene, I thought to me was just like, I love it.
The cinematics in this are quite stunning.
Yeah.
They always have been. The cleverness of the shots. That's one thing I truly love about is all those clever scenes. But what I want to say is Aunt Lydia again. That scene where Aunt Lydia is talking to Serena is like, even the best of us get fooled by this. So she's getting a dig in on...
Well, she gave her that, and then she gave her the cherry on top by maybe next time try counting them. Like, counting the contractions to make sure. Like, because timing it between, because, like, my wife has had children. I've been present for it. I can't say I have had children. But, I realize that there's, Braxton Hicks, and there's also, like, you have to be so many centimeters dilated before the baby's ready, and there's, like, all these different things that need to happen. So, like, from the time that... There's so much that could happen. Right? And there's so much. And so one of those things could be how far apart are these contractions, right? Timing them.
But that line that I said about June, where she's like, I do think it'd be better if we never see each other again. I thought that shit was hilarious when Aunt Lydia looked at her and she's like,
yeah.
Girl, come on, don't push your luck.
She knows what she's doing for sure. And that was kind of like a through line for June in this episode, was really pushing the envelope of what she could kind of get away with. And it backfires when she goes after Fred. But then it backfires on her.
And it's like he feels guilty.
Yeah.
And then he does something nice.
Did he do something nice though?
Hannah?
Right. The gesture of letting him see his daughter might have seemed nice, but emotionally that's more like the trauma that's going to come for that little girl and June from that arrangement and that little time together is going to be worse than if they had never had it.
Yeah, but let's rewind a little bit. So when she's goes to his office, he's like, it's late, getting all annoyed, and then it ultimately invites her in. They have a little talk, and then she pushes to be put into, after blaming Serena, like, Serena's making me leave.
Yeah.
She doesn't want me in this district, that kind of thing, right? But she's kind of whining to Fred to get him to do something about Serena, and then ultimately she challenges his ego. Yeah. By saying, I don't even know if it's in your power. And that's when he gets pissed.
Well, that was the one thing. He definitely gets bruised ego in that scenario. And that's why he lashes the way he does. But she doesn't word it that way. Like, the way she says the thing is very sincere. And it is not a question of she just says, if it's in your power, could you do that?
Yeah.
It wasn't.
She knows what she's doing. She knows to fuck with his ego to get him to do shit.
I don't know. I felt different in that situation.
Let us know in the comments what you thought.
Yeah. It didn't feel to me like that was I feel like she felt like she had made a mistake by doing that. Like, oh shit, I probably shouldn't have said that. I should have thought that through more. And then when she realizes that she has no more ground to manipulate, she goes for the attack, which
she pushes forward. I love that.
Well, she goes on the offensive and she basically confirms to him that this is not your baby.
Yes. Yeah. Which ultimately pisses him off, and he goes to Serena like, hey, we got to do something. And then Serena comes up with this, oh, we're going to do it naturally. And that's where we go into the whole capital R rape scene that you were talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like the thing with Gilead is like they've painted this religious dogma on top of it where it's for the greater good. We're creating these babies, like, all the bullshit that they speak, right? Mm-hmm. In this particular scene, there was none of that. This was truly Fred getting some revenge, and Serena, like, they were getting revenge on her. Mm-hmm. And that, I got to see what you guys have seen so long, and I've always been like, no, Serena's evil. Yes, a person willing to do what those two did in this scene have absolutely corrupt and evil hearts. And so I will be looking at Serena through a very different lens from this point on. And I think that ultimately what happens to June, I'm surprised, like Martha or Nick or no one heard. She was screaming. I'm surprised no one heard that, even if to console her after or like see where she's at. Mm-hmm. But Nick was clearly distracted, and we'll get there in a minute. But man, this episode was a rough one to watch for sure. I'm looking for words to even keep continuing talking about it because it's just an uncomfortable and really like radical situation.
So after Rita is cleaning up all the food, talk about how much of a waste, Eden goes to take out the trash and runs into the young guardian.
Yeah, I called it. As soon as we were introduced to Eden, I had a feeling that she was going to and finding love with someone besides Nick in that home. Mm. I originally thought it was going to be Fred just because of like how creepy he was with her initially.
I had to bite my tongue so fucking hard just so that I didn't ruin it for you.
Yeah, I mean, he was ultra creepy.
Yeah.
And so I thought maybe it would be him, but he's so caught up in the power June Serena thing that he has going on right now that he's too distracted. So it ends up being this young new guardian that they have at the house. Isaac is his name.
I don't know. He's irrelevant.
Yeah. Oh, he's becoming relevant right now. And we noticed that he's starting to, like, last episode, she feeds him. And it's a kind of like flirty, almost like a romantic, almost like they were in the kitchen making dinner together kind of scene, even though they weren't. But that was the vibes that they were giving each other. And then in this episode, they're very connected at the hip, shopping, and like they're always together. So when she goes to throw out the trash, homeboy, he's been stalking her for a minute. He just pops out of the bush like, hey, how you doing?
See, I relate to that scene because I remember being that age.
Yeah.
Right? There was this one time I dated a senior chief's daughter.
That's not smart.
No, I was literally 18, fresh in the military, and dated a senior chief's daughter for a very short period of time, and that did not end very.
I didn't think it would.
No. But Nick's up there, smoke a cigarette, watch it all happen, and he's just, whatever. And then
he's in a forced marriage that he doesn't care about. It's all for show. Yeah. So for him, if he could, he would just keep the marriage going just for looks, let them be together. He wouldn't care.
Yeah, but ultimately, Eden turns around and sees Nick looking directly at them and realize, oh fuck, I'm caught, I'm dead, kind of thing. So she rushes back to Nick, go talk to him, and Eden's pissed off that he's not mad.
Yeah, she feels very unwanted, unseen, unloved, and that's like the only thing she wants and has been like indoctrinated and like since she's been little. That's the only thing she's been told she needs and wants.
Yeah.
And that she can't have it from the person she's supposed to have it from.
The whole time I just want to like smack her upside the head. Bitch, you're 15 years old. He does not want you.
Yeah, I don't know. And
then she throws out the accusation of June.
Yeah, well, she knows it. Anyone who's in the room with them can see it. And they stare too long at each other.
And Nick's just like, no, I wouldn't do that. That would be suicide.
He just says that would be suicide. Not that he wouldn't. He was like, getting involved with him, it would be suicide. Yeah. That's what he says to her, yeah.
So we got that. And then next morning, we come to find out that Fred has a surprise for June.
Yeah, which I want to back up to Eden again for a second, because one of the things that I've been doing with this, like, I can't ever watch this kind of anything really through my own lens because my lens is limited. I've only experienced what I have in my own life. And so when I'm watching stuff like this, especially with like Eden or someone who's been not necessarily a part of the evil takeover, but has just been grown up, like you brought it up many times, like her and others in Gilead they know nothing else. They have only been raised in this. So what they're doing is right. It's what they know. And so for her in these scenes, like, you know, some people might be like, you know, smack her upside the head or whatever you want to say about it. But I feel for her because at this point, this girl, all she wants is the thing in her life that's been told she needs. Love. Connection with a man who is then going to provide for her and care for her as long as she's this doting housewife.
Not just a man, a Gilead man.
Correct. A believer. And now, no matter what she has done or tried to do, cook him his special meal, go above and beyond, whatever it is, he wants nothing to do with her. Like that level of rejection without answers. But to that point, now we're dealing with someone who's 15. So like not even emotionally mature yet. So I'm watching this scene and I'm like, I want to smack Nick upside the head and just be like, dude, just reason, like let her know, like, hey, I'm an adult and you're a child. I cannot love you, but I can care for you. And as you get older, maybe that could happen. But for right now, like, let's live a good life. Like do what you have to do. But I don't know. It's hard for me in this episode was really hard for me throughout. But I was struggling with that scene with those two because I'm like, man, did she cheat? I don't know. She's like just looking for love. Like it's hard. It's hard to say. And he wants nothing to do with it. So is it really cheating? Like it was a hard scenario to put labels or any kind of category or classification on. And I want to know what you guys think below because your opinions mean like the world, right? So you guys know a lot. You can give us insight we can never have. It's got to be hard to be Eden. I'm just kind of curious what you think. But yeah, let's go to the other traumatic experience. She gets to see Hannah.
Yeah, but before that, the car ride. Because you brought up the whole nobody heard June screaming thing. So in the whole car ride, Nick is clueless. He keeps asking her, what happened? What did he do to you? Right? But she's in like this catatonic funk where she's just staring out the window, just tuning everything out. And eventually they get to this mansion in the middle of the woods, in the middle of this beautiful snow landscape. And Nick looks like he's on guard, like he didn't know. He's like got his gun ready and all that stuff as they're walking in the house. And then they run into another guardian and they're Martha.
Yeah, it seems like Fred felt guilty or whatever the thing was that ultimately made him go behind Serena's back and do this. I don't really understand it, to be honest. Like, what does Fred gain from this emotionally or in any way? He's only getting himself, he's only risking himself. So I was really, I would like some more explanation on his motives if anybody has it, because it doesn't make any sense to me why he would do this. But yeah, kind of like real quick under the radar, hands off this piece of paper, I'm guessing a mission, some sort of permission to go there, to Nick without Nick knowing where he's going, and just sends him. So that makes sense that Nick's there on, like, his guard is up. He has no idea what he's walking into, and he's got his baby and the girl he loves behind him. Yep. So yeah, I would be ready to go too.
And it was good foreshadowing for what happened after the fact.
Yeah.
Right. So if she's in there talking to Hannah does remember her, which is cool. But Hannah has a new name.
Yeah.
They renamed her, and what was it? What was the new name? I forget.
I don't know.
Okay, but anyway, Hannah is like really does love her new parents that she has, and the whole time June is telling Hannah to like listen to them, just because she wants her to be safe. She just wants her kid to have a good life, the best life she possibly can, which unfortunately means living in Gilead.
At the moment.
Yeah. That's going to be very hard for her to do unless she's being good at following orders.
Yeah.
And she asks if she ever gets beat or physically punished and stuff like that. And only when I don't listen, Hannah says.
Regular discipline.
But Martha's like, only 2 times.
Yeah. It sounds like he's in a pretty good situation.
Yes. So that Martha, I felt like she was very kind to June in that moment when she said it was only 2 times, kind of like put her at ease. And because most of these Marthas seem to be really good people. Because again, they're forced into this.
Well, they're part of the servant class.
Yeah.
And anybody who's in the servant class inside of Gilead it's forced labor. And they most likely were good people. They are just forced into the situation. Yeah.
And that young guardian keeps rushing the whole encounter along, though, because they're on the table. Yeah, he's nowhere near as comfortable as doing this thing as Nick is.
Yeah.
Going behind the backs of stuff.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I feel like he's the reason the other ones show up.
Maybe. Could be. And that's why he wants to get out of there so quick, because he knows they're coming. That could be. There was 2 things that happened. One of them is directly, in the scene, and the other one is something that I was just like, I don't know why this doesn't happen. So when Hannah starts talking to June and asking her questions, you kind of understand. I believe I start to understand why Hannah is so reluctant to be near her or want to like receive her so welcome, even though she recognizes her. Because the very first couple of questions that Hannah asks June are abandonment questions.
Yeah.
Why did you leave me? Why didn't you look for me? How long did you look for me?
Why didn't you look harder?
Right. So it's all about like, don't you love me? Why would this happen? And
she's too young to understand.
And June was smart in this situation, because she could be like, you see the scary guy with the gun? He's stopping me from seeing you. Like, she could try to explain it to her, but then she would just put a level of fear into her daughter that doesn't need to be there.
And probably risk her safety too.
Well,
because she'd start acting out.
Right. I think that's going to happen anyway. That's why I said, did Fred really do good here? Because just how once she did get some answers and start to realize, like, I can let my guard down a little bit and love this woman a little, she doesn't want to leave her. And you don't think that once she gets back to the house, she's not going to be like, you're not my real mommy, or start acting out, or like do something that's going to trigger like an investigation or at least disciplinary action on her? So like that to me was like a little reluctant. So anyway, we'll see where that goes. But the other thing I really want to talk about, you have June and Nick alone on a mission. You have Hannah, a Martha, and another guardian meeting them at a secluded place well off the beaten path. What stops Nick from putting a bullet in that guardian's head and then taking June, her daughter, and him and is driving to Canada, getting her daughter, their new baby to safety? There's no other guardians around. There's nothing else happening. Like, boogie on, bro. Just go. And it was never even mentioned. Like, June didn't even think about it. It was never brought up. Like, I have this one thing that's keeping me in Gilead in front of me. And there's one person with the gun who can stop me. And I have somebody else with the gun. And I can manipulate him because he loves me. I think that was a missed opportunity. But everyone in the comments are so great about. I also said we should just snipe Fred from the grassy knoll, and the comment section was like, you actually changed my mind on that, because he really did get I think, a bigger hit on Gilead by the letters and that never would have happened if Fred would have got taken out, right?
Fred would have been the martyr.
And then Nick would have never seen Luke, and then he never would have met him in the bar, and none of that would have ever happened. So I appreciate the enlightenment, because sometimes I'm quick to just go with what I know, and you guys gave me a different solution. That was great.
And they also mentioned that Luke has like 0 military combat training or anything like that. No skills for that.
A hunting rifle and a scope, you can take somebody. It doesn't. We're not going there. But anyway, you don't need a lot of training for that. If the scope does the work. You know, I just thought that was a wasted opportunity. Nick's an idiot. Not that it was a wasted opportunity. Nick's an idiot for not thinking of it and saving her and the kid right there on the spot. But anyway, we can move on.
So the other Guardians roll up real quick, kind of fast. Nick goes outside, tells June go inside, hide, or stay inside and hide. And Nick goes out there. One of them pulls a gun on him. He knocks the gun out of the way. The other one like kind of blindsides him. And then they take him away and take his vehicle away. And June is left stranded there. And then the episode ends with June wandering off into the snow woods and just lost and confused, like, where the fuck am I in the middle of nowhere? Yeah. And there seems to be, no electricity in the house?
Not that I saw, but it's also, middle of the day, so no one's turning lights,
Yeah, they look like they still had all their clothes on because it was freezing in there.
Yeah. Yeah, like no one went there beforehand and started a fire or anything, so it's hard to say.
Yep, and that's where we're left off.
We have Fred said he needed them back in 3 hours, and it's definitely going to be more than 3 hours now. We have June wandering very pregnant through the cold Boston woods, or cold Massachusetts woods. They're close to Boston. Fred has to now figure out why his main driver, Guardian, is gone. His handmaid's gone. Serena's going to be asking some questions. So we got an interesting episode ahead of us. And we won't be dropping it this Thursday. Liam and I are on our way to Mexico. We have a mastermind event thing that we're going to, that I'm hosting, and then we'll be dropping that episode the following Tuesday. So just want to let you guys know we won't be dropping one this Thursday. We're going to be out of town, and I want to make sure we give you the best quality, most of our attention, and it'll be such a quick video because we're going to be heading out, so we don't want to do that.
And if you haven't checked out Alien Earth and you like that kind of thing, definitely check it out and then come check us out.
Yeah, I'm excited for that tonight.
Yes.
We reviewed first 2 episodes already. They're already on the channel. You can go check them out, like Liam said. But we appreciate you guys always being here. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoy Handmaid's Tale and the journey you're on with us, hit that like button. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so. A little click for you, but greatly helps us out, helps the algorithm out. And we'll see you guys down in the comments shortly. But don't forget to keep watching those videos. We'll see you there.
Find the strength hiding in each battle scar. You're not who you were. You've already come far.